Back in the day, I ran a direct-to-consumer Shopify store selling screen-printed canvas bags with funny Puerto Rican sayings on them. Yep, that's me. I will share in this video a critical mistake that I made that you can hopefully avoid when you are running your own online store. Now, I warn you, this video is going to be a little bit numbers heavy, but if you're trying to make a living selling stuff online, you gotta have your numbers straight.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Before I get to telling you all about my mistake, let me define two very important metrics. First, AOV. AOV is short for average order value and is usually calculated as the total revenue for your store over total number of transactions. Basically, when people buy stuff from you, how much do they spend on average? The second metric we're going to talk about in this video is CAC. CAC is short for customer acquisition costs, or how much on average it's going to cost you to acquire a new customer into your business. CAC is calculated as your total sales and marketing costs over how many customers you generated in that same exact period of time. These costs, by the way, include things like advertising, content creation, and even those flyers you thought were a good idea. Now, the relationship between AOV and CAC is super important because it determines whether or not you can grow your business with advertising. Advertising, by the way, is when you're paying to promote a product. Online advertising can include social media ads, paid search, and display ads, for example. Now, let's take a look at this 2x2. Okay, here we have a high and low AOV and a high and low CAC. Starting with this quadrant down here, if you have a low CAC and a low AOV, your advertising is very likely close to break even. So to make money in this business, you need to be selling in high volumes so your low margins can add up to a paycheck that actually works for you. Many products on Amazon fall into this category. The next quadrant here is high customer acquisition costs and low average order value. This, my friends, is the terrible quadrant. When you're spending more to acquire a customer than that customer spends on your business. Guess what? You're losing money. You are not profitable. Next, you have a high AOV and a high CAC quadrant. This is kind of similar to the low CAC and low AOV. You're probably making little profit from each sale, but in this case, since your products are more expensive, you might not be able to generate enough volume in sales to make this work. Now, this last quadrant here, I saved the best for last, is the money quadrant. Low customer acquisition costs and high average order value. These are the products that can advertise their way to the top because their price point is high enough to cover the customer acquisition costs. Think of a product like Athletic Greens. They grew so fast, and a huge part of it is because they're in this quadrant, so they can actually afford advertising. Okay, now that we've covered the important dynamics between AOV and CAC, here's the mistake I made that led to the demise of my business. That sounds really dramatic. Kind of was at the moment, actually. My CAC was over $50 and my average order value was closer to $25. This meant that for every new customer I acquired through advertising, I was losing $25. That's like 3 burritos. If I could go back in time, here is what I would have done differently. 3 things. First, I would have released a line of products that sold at a higher price point, thus allowing me to advertise profitably. Second, I had quit my full-time job to run this business. I would not have done that if I could go back in time. Not having a steady paycheck meant I needed to resort to advertising as a way to make money fast. This didn't give time for all my organic efforts like SEO and social media to become profitable. Organic efforts, by the way, have super low CAC, 0 in some instances. It's part of the reason why they're so awesome. Third, I would have found ways to increase my customer lifetime value, or the amount of money that each customer spends with me in their lifetime. This would have allowed me to spend more on advertising if the CLTV covered my customer acquisition costs. In the world of online direct-to-consumer businesses, there's one formula that will make it nearly impossible to grow through paid advertising: low AOV and high CAC. This might be okay if you have enough cash flow from other sources to grow your business organically, but if you need fast growth so you can pay your bills and make ends meet, you will likely need to advertise to sell more products. And you can only advertise if your AOV covers your CAC. This is what will make your advertising ROI positive, where you're making more money than you're spending. Okay, so I want to hear everything about your CAC. Wait, that word is so ridiculous. But seriously, is it too high? Maybe it's too low? How about your AOV? Tell me everything about it in the comments, and I will see you next time.